Hey guys, welcome back to Inventory Watch. We are going to go over a special edition I have for you guys. I pulled some national numbers and I was looking at where is buyer demand fallen the most, where is inventory rising, what's happening across the United States. And I've been finding out that most of the lowest demand and fastest inventory has been growing in a lot of the coastal cities along the east coast of the United States, with one outlier being in a mountain, like or a lake kind of forestry mountain area, and that is in Sevierville, Tennessee. Now, if you don't know Sevierville, Tennessee, it is in East Tennessee, and the Great Smoky Mountains are just south of there. I believe it's where Dolly Parton is from. So it has quite a few tourist attractions. There's the Hatfield and McCoy's Dinner Theater. You know, you can drive down to the Smoky Mountains. It's probably close to Dollywood and things like that. So what we're seeing in the numbers, let me move my face so we can actually look at this chart that I put together. So Sevierville is number 6 on this list of home or markets where year-over-year inventory has increased and buyer demand has absolutely fallen off a cliff. So we're seeing that in Sevierville. Year-over-year inventory is 83%. It's up 83%, and the market strength is 0.19, which is really, really low. Anything under a 0.40 is considered really a weaker market. This data where total listings is about to refresh later this week. So these numbers might be a little low because it's been probably about 30-ish days since this data set came out. But we're looking at a days on market increasing. The median is 63, which means half of the homes take longer than 63 days to sell, and price reductions were 51% of the market. So people are dropping the prices there in Sevierville, Tennessee. I wanted to show you guys what I'm seeing there in that market based on what I'm seeing on some of the website portals. And we're hitting realtor.com today. And as far as affordability goes, if we were to put a max price at say $250,000 in this location, let's hit this load. There's only 16 homes for sale under 250,000. So when we're thinking about affordability, I'm not really thinking this is one of those markets where it's super affordable with high interest rates and probably low economics there. I wouldn't think that this is an affordable market, especially with there only being 16 homes for sale. Let's take a look at this one. This one looks kind of decent. It has a creek running through the lot, and it has been on the market for 79 days. So if you're looking for this part of East Tennessee, you probably have some negotiation power here, looking at the condition of some of these homes and how long they have been on the market. So let's go back and take a look at some of the East Coast markets. So that was the only market that is not on the East Coast, like beach location. So if you're in the market for a beach house, boy, inventory is surely starting to rise in some of these locations. And we're talking about Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Fort Myers, Florida, Delray Beach, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Kissimmee, Cape Coral. We've got Alabama. We've got the Gulf Shores of Alabama. You've got, let me move my face here. We've got Galveston, Texas is the other one that is also by the ocean. So lots of markets here by the beach. I'm going to put a link to this data set so that you guys have access to it, so you guys can see where the inventory is rising the most, where buyer demand is tanking, because to me, these are markets that have good opportunities. But there is a but for these markets. If you're looking to negotiate, awesome. But there's a couple of things that you need to know about what's happening in Florida. So in Florida and these coastal markets, homeowners insurance is rising, which is why homes have been sitting on the market for a long time. With homeowners insurance rising, or maybe even not insurable properties at all, that means that if somebody is financing a home, it's going to be a lot harder to qualify for the mortgage the cost of the insurance and the cost of the taxes. And in some of these communities, it's all about the condominium fees as well. The condominium assessments may also be pricing people out of the market, because that's also an issue happening in Florida. And if the condominium is not insurable, the mortgage company absolutely won't lend on it either. So those are some caveats with what's happening here in the East Coast. But if you're, say, on the West Coast, where home values are a little higher, you may have $100,000, $200,000 in equity. There may be some opportunities in some of these places for you to purchase cash. But again, it comes at a risk of, if you purchase a place cash, would you get the homeowner's insurance? And if you didn't, like, what would happen if a hurricane came through and knocked your house over, right? So those are some things to consider when buying in these markets. And I would actually wait and see if they fall a little bit further before I personally would buy in these markets. But I do have my eye on, I believe, Jacksonville right now is where I have been kind of peeking at into that market. And it's actually not one on this list, but it is one where we're seeing price reductions and things like that. Let's go to one of these on the list and see if there's any affordable things happening here. Let me pause the video. Okay, so for example, I pulled up Panama City, Florida, and this is one that is seeing quite a few price reductions. This house here, price reduced $189,000 they just dropped the price to flat $100K for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,300 square feet. So to me, this is affordability. There's some opportunity happening here, like this little townhome for $50,000. So again, here's another one. I don't know if, let's see, 303 Detroit, 305 Detroit. So there's like a whole neighborhood where they're just slashing prices down to $100,000. So there's, again, definitely some opportunity if you're coming from one of these more expensive markets to get into something a little bit lower priced. My sister recently sold her home in Prescott, Arizona. I live here in Phoenix. And so like our market's pretty getting like unaffordable. She was able to cash out her home, and she was able to get out of a mortgage payment that she had in Prescott, and moved to South Carolina, paid cash for the house, and she no longer has a mortgage, which is great for her because her husband recently, last year, he had a major heart attack, and he was clinically dead for a bit, and he's got a little bit of brain damage happening. So he's not working from what happened with his heart attack, but that's such a relief for them as a couple that they were able to sell a house and to purchase a home outright in South Carolina and have no mortgage. So things like that are a thing. So I'm looking at like this house here. I mean, this looks like a huge fixer-upper, but $74,000, like there's definitely 116 homes in Panama City, Florida for under $250,000. So some opportunities starting to arise. And again, I just want to, tell you guys to be careful if you're thinking about doing something like that and going to the East Coast, where again, some things I would be wary of the condo complexes. I would definitely try to do a single family home and things like that. If you're thinking about I would call it like an arbitrage, right? Cashing out in one market and going to another to kind of up your quality of life, right? By not having a mortgage payment and not having to stress out about those things. But opportunities are starting to be around. So I'm going to leave the link to the list of homes. Again, that data is going to update in the next week. So if you click on that link after that, do know that the data refreshes and that there's going to be different opportunities and different markets showing up on that list. And if you need a real estate agent in that market, I will also leave links to agents that we use place. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.